And during the vetting, there are some things you said earlier that I want to come to.
Yes, sir.
Eventually. But during the vetting, it was believed that there were certain people that you had targeted to give a hard time, what you're saying, Ablakwa and Sam George. Was it true that you had targeted? You seem to dwell a lot on them, and to the extent that you wanted to find out everything. Was it deliberate? Because there was some too that you allowed to go within a few minutes.
Well, Wafa, we did. We be same. Mami, and try here no. On Sam, Sam George and I have had a good relationship, very cordial. I think that he also went to the extreme in some of his politics. I mean, Akufo-Addo, he's giving me a political space through his leadership. He's giving the MPP that opportunity to be seen by the nation through his leadership. And he's all we have as our leader. Therefore, politically, if you keep pounding him without respect, definitely, I'm being honest, given the opportunity, I would need to scrutinize some of the things you've said about him. So, without...
and you thought Sam George had been disrespectful to
Akufo? A lot. The Chief Justice, the attacks on the Chief Justice, the attacks on Akufo-Addo.
Honorable nominee, Mr. Chairman, you have just watched the video. Would you want to explain what you mean by Nana Akufo-Addo did not steal from the public purse, but they actually stole the purse? Would you explain what you meant by that? And after that, let the public know whether you still stand by that statement or you seek to retract.
Mr. Chairman, before I answer, may I seek leave of you to know how many minutes I have to answer this question? Because I have a litany of over 700 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo that I would list systematically and explain each one to show Ghanaians how President Akufo-Addo and his government stole the public purse.
You see, Wafa, politics in the to me are you, but and say you're very personal. Senipana Yabonia, fine. But when you accuse the person using very unprintable words, Wafa, you've criticized me before. You didn't use unprintable words. You feel that would you say, so would the me attempt with some language bia and caneta there be eduman yesuya one year yanka. So I think in the case of Sam George, we had some discussion and I felt he could land safely and all, but he took a position, and the position he took is what led to that extended engagement. In the case of Sam Okudzoto Ablakwa, well, I also felt that he had taken the politics rather to the extreme levels, where he was attacking his colleagues and attacking opponents and getting personal. Me myself, me koje abain sika, me to abain asase. But soon after the election, as if I was one of their targets, they were flying drones on my properties in Winneba. Flying drones.
Who was flying drones?
The oral team. They later denied that it's not them, but look, we know what we know. Okay? And my Belenque property, I've lived there for so many years. So many years. Why would somebody go to the rail line, cross the rail line, and try to be spying my house. For what? They go to Winneba, do the same thing. And in fact, when he was coming to the vetting, he even had a search report with him. He read it, if you remember. He now read the search report.
I'm even looking into your own acquisition in Winneba. I have the document here. It also varies. So,
Honorable nominee, because you have brought me in, I'm able to find out from you about my properties in Winneba that you know. I want you to share with the public.
this specific one is a lease between you and the government of Ghana on 22nd March 2023. The name Alexander Afenyo Markins for 99 years. This is in Winneba. The official search certificate indicates that the site also is covered by a lease dated 22nd March 2023 between the government of Ghana on one part and Alexander Afenyo Markin on the other part for a term of 99 years. So that is what the search certificate states.
It means that whatever I was being told they were doing was true. So, unbeknown to him, of course, he's not a lawyer. So perhaps he didn't even understand the search report. Because the search he did showed that my property in Winneba is not a state land. Okay? And he read it. So the question is, why that? Put that aside. He himself had made certain representation about MPs and their benefits and all. And I knew that he had taken all those benefits. Yet he had created the impression out there that, look, MPs taking back car loan was not the right thing and all that. And then the way he was questioning people's lifestyle, I wanted to ask him whether he could avail himself if he's in that situation. So it wasn't personal. No. As minority leader, I'm supposed to do my work. Then he also said that, yes, there are some people that will let them go. Indeed, in Parliament, those who build consensus, those that you think that, look, these ones, they appreciate the governance. You don't want to ruffle them, okay? Let it be.
Do you stand by this, or you believe that with the benefit of hindsight, you could have used a more measured language as a politician? I understand you made this on the 4th of September in the heat of campaign, but would you say that you could have been more measured in the language you use on first paragraph?
Honorable Chair, with hindsight, I must admit that the language was rather harsh. I'm grateful.
Upgrading the Galamsey menace. Could the language have been different?
Given my responses so far, I would admit so.
Chairman, for the records, I am done with Honorable Clement Akpak. I don't have any question again. It is only fair that when a nominee appears before us, constitutionally he's qualified under Article 78, and key matters that are of controversy, he is honest enough to say he's sorry about it or he takes them back. I do not think that for my purpose I have any more to say. I will yield to the expert in his field. Dr. Educhum is here. You know, you are going to deal with education matters, and my colleague Buama and Mustafa and Deputy Leader, they are here to deal with you on other matters. But for me, I am done with you.
Then those that you know that in terms of communication, they may have some challenge. You look at the constitutional thing and say, okay, constitutionally, they are okay, let them go. And then there were some that I decided to stay away from their vetting to allow my other colleagues to do it. Because leader, you can't do everything. You give space to your other colleagues to also do. So you realize that the vetting itself, I didn't do. Mahama has appointed 56 so far. It's left 4 to make it a 60. Count it. I didn't know more than 8. In fact, all the regional ministers, I wasn't there. Okay? All the regional ministers, I wasn't there. Deputy ministers, I did just about 2. Just about 2. Substantive cabinet ministers, I did about 4 or so. So in total, I didn't vet more than 10.
Do you think yours stood out because there were some cases like the 2 I mentioned? It became like we'll show you where power lies.
Yeah, but a politician must always seize a moment. A politician must always seize a moment. I mean, they have bruised our party and they created a certain impression about our party. And if they are there, they need to now fill the hot seat, how it is like to be in the hot seat. That, look, manage situations in a manner that would not take you to the extreme. I think it's fair. It's fair. And my colleagues know that I'm not a hardliner. They know. I'm not a very difficult person. I would want to make my case, and I'm reasonable because I've been in government before. I've been leader of government business before. And I know that come 2028, God willing, if we do our work well, if we brand well, if we sit and look at what caused our defeat and get closer to the people.
How is the branding going? So far, some of the criticism has been like, but if you want to now, if you will, win the hearts and the souls of people, is this the approach?
Well, things will settle in. Things will settle in. First of all, it will be a bit butu kakra, and then butu na yeboko.
Yeah.
You know, I think that when the Okwe report comes, we should expect some turbulence. Kakra. Turbulence in Echino, Ebejo. Then the internal elections will start a bit of turbulence, but it's all about the management. The MPP ideology of freedom, the MPP ideology of private enterprise, the MPP ideology of welfare for those who are placed at the lowest ebb of fortune's wheel. These must be well crafted through constructive engagement so that the people will see that, look, this is a party of the people. I mean, obviously, the NDC would also have its own challenge. Bear in mind that President Mahama has just a term. Already, I can foresee some internal alignment be on the channel, because President Mahama by 2027 he may be a lame duck. If the near day obetumi aye firm into 28, but se near aye day by next year they will render him a lame duck. The near aye day he become a lame duck.
What's your guess?
It depends. No. Look, for me, his first term in leadership, he didn't come across as being very firm and decisive. From 2013 to 16, I think that Ghanaians had a certain impression about him that he wasn't firm, he wasn't decisive. Now he has a final opportunity. And this final opportunity, politicians always have the ambition. So his people may say, oh, the man is going. What do we do? Succession plan. So there could be internal fight. It depends on how he approaches it. And I'm saying that internal fight in itself opens up an opportunity for us as MPP. It doesn't mean that we should also lay back without patching up, because their failure will not automatically lead to our success or opportunity. So I'm looking at a situation whereby internally they would also have their own challenge to face. And bear in mind again, Wafa, that come 2028, the issue of apathy will be their problem, because they've hyped the interest a lot of the youths. The youths are expectant. So come 28, the apathy that we had in 2024 will now be theirs, because you would have people who say, and I work for the party, you're female. And I work for the party, I didn't get a job. I'm sure that the 60 ministers, there are MPs who feel that they are better qualified than some. You get what the whole thing. There may be people who may be given some appointments that will be looking for MP seats, that would be going after certain seats in their primaries. So in opposition, we have to be strategic and package ourselves and seize the opportunity. Okay. I believe that we can, and it would all depend on us.
Okay, quickly, from what you're saying, I would assume that maybe you plus your party didn't see this coming. You seem to be shocked by the results. Did you see this coming? Because the talk is that the NPP was so confident in breaking the 8 that they actually assumed that the 8 is broken.
A politician must always be optimistic
and realistic as well.
In a sense, I agree. But are politicians always realistic? you have to let your optimism carry you on. If you always want to face the reality, you may not do it at all. So optimism, at least, is key. However, I think also that one of the things that we should do is to really rely on data and appreciate what data tells us. I, as a person, all my political life, from my days as an assemblyman, all through my primaries, to my first general election, 2012, it's always been data driven. In fact, 2012 in particular, there were areas that I never campaigned because the research advisors told me that you will not win here, go there, find. So we're balancing. And when the results came, the same. So you realize that progressively, from 2012, winning with 2,000 margin, okay, then 2016, we went to 10,000, 2020, 14,000, almost 15,000, then 2024, 20,000. Sometimes I tell people that, look, if you don't rely on data, you'll be deceived. People can look in your eye and be clapping for you, but when you turn, you say, "Pupa."